Okay, so I'm a little bit late in getting the gallery for replays of the week out for this week. However, they are coming out because there's been so much going on, guys. Now, we're going to showcase your replays in this week's gallery. It was always going to happen, just a bit late. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz. And yes, it's the replays of the week's gallery for the second week of December. Yes, I know we're now in the third week of December, but guys, with the festive event coming out and stuff like that, I got a little bit sidetracked, so apologies for the tardiness in getting this one out. Anyway, as I keep telling everybody, this is my favourite part of the week because I get to do nothing but commentate on your amazing gameplay. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. And first off the bat, we've got a good friend of mine, FreshTrave from FTC1. Yep, that's right, my clan. In fact, FreshTrave is a childhood friend of mine, but he's still a noob. Anyway, FreshTrave is rolling out in the KV1. We all love the KV1, the Russian Tier 5 heavy tank on the EU server. Now, I personally absolutely adore this tank. In fact, I've got an almost 70% win rate in this tank, which is not particularly great. I mean, some players out there have got 90% win rates in their tank. Oh, and that's my volume, by the way, before you start adjusting. But I do like this tank. So anyway, here's FreshTrave rolling out on Falls Creek. A really good map for this tank. The things I like about this tank, well, okay, it's had a bit of a nerf recently, so it's lost its not-so-derpy gun, which is a damn shame, because that gun was spectacular. And, you know, I miss it, and they shouldn't have done it, in my opinion. But what are you going to do? So they've left it with the not-so-derpy gun, which can't penetrate anything anymore, and the derpy gun, which still has good penetration values. As you can see here, FreshTrave is giving that poor old T1 Heavy a good run for his money. The other thing about the KV1, which I absolutely think is spectacular, is its trolley armor. Now, if you've seen my review on the KV1, you'll know if you put it at the right angle, you will bounce absolutely everything until the cows come home, as the old expression states. And it's true. I mean, they haven't touched the armor on this thing, just one of its guns, and that still miffs me a little bit. In fact, I know it miffs a lot of people a little bit. Why they touched that gun, it beggars belief. But, you know, they did for some reason. I don't know why. So far, he's done 712 damage, he's bounced 440, and he's taken 1 kill. And you can see where all the other tanks are. Now, okay, the KV1 struggles a bit because it's a heavy to get around the battlefield, but it doesn't really need to because it's like a magnet. Everything eventually comes to it, to be perfectly fair. The T-34, well, bless him, he's trying to angle and he's trying to hide, but he's just failing miserably, I'm afraid. But he's giving it a good go. It's allowing the KV1 of FreshTrave, however, to plow a lot of AP into him, leaving him on a mere 50-odd hit points, so he is not long for this game, I'm afraid, and he will be going back to the garage relatively quickly. But FreshTrave is, well, looking for him, and, you know, like I say, the KV1 is not the most ideal tank to chase a medium tank around the battlefield. Oh, but he's forgetting about the T-34 for the moment, because he can see other targets, like the opposition's KV1, or the A-20, oh, there's the T-34 popping back up again. Can FreshTrave get him before he gets up the hill? No, and he's still searching, and oh, he's just bounced one from the KV1 on the opposition side. Oh, and there's an M7 now coming into view, and yes, easy targets as he's side on going up towards the base. Now, looking at the game, you would think that FreshTrave's team is, well, in a bit of a pickle. They are a tank down. The other side have capped, are trying to cap, and they're on almost 50 base points. And, well, he's still bouncing away, and the other team, however, they're short on hit points. He's still got a Churchill 1 and a Scavenger on his side, so FreshTrave is doing the right thing as they're all engaged over there, and he's going to make his way towards the base. and he's still bouncing away. He's now bounced 1,175. He's done 1,293 damage, and now he's trying to get this cap reset. And he's done it. Well, he hasn't done it completely because there's two on the base now, the A20 and the KV1. But he's knocked it down from the 60s to the 20s. He's still trying to get round there to stop them capping this base out. And there's the KV1. Goodbye, KV1. But he came out of the base. So, FreshTrave has now bounced 1,375. He's finally scared the A20 off the base. He's done 1,641 damage, and he's taken 2 kills. And it's 2 against 2. There's the A20. Well, there was the A20. It's gone, so he's got his 3rd kill. He's done 1,827 damage. He's stopped them capping on the base. This is looking good. He's only got the Panzer III-4 left. He's still got support from the Churchill, but the Churchill's a slower beast than this poor old KV-1. So what's FreshTrave going to do? He's going to sit on the base and trying to entice that Panzer III-4 to him. The Churchill's down to 45 hit points. To be honest with you, both of those tanks are one-shots where FreshTrave is looking incredibly healthy. And the Churchill's had a really good game as well. I mean, he's taken 3 kills also. And FreshTrave, just pops out in, it's a bit fast for this KV-1 gun, but there he is. What can FreshTrave do? Well, he can take him out and put him back in the garage. 4 kills, 1,910 damage, 1,375 bounced. Resetting the base. That is a really good rollout in this tank. And he gets, unfortunately, only a 2nd class. Top tier tank. Did really well. I'd like to thank FreshTrave for providing that replay for us, because it's always a pleasure to watch somebody rolling out in a KV-1. Now we've got another friend of mine, Dwarf NZ of the clan TOXIN, rolling out in the Churchill Mark 6, the British Tier 6 Heavy from the Asian server. This is only the 2nd Asian server replay I've had, and Dwarf NZ is a new provider of replays, so I'd like to thank Dwarf NZ for deciding to share this one with us. Now, they've decided to go out down this route on Port Bay, which sometimes is a better route than the normal heavy route to where the sea cap would be. But a lot of people don't use this route anymore, and it's nice to have a bit of variation. Oh, there's a Churchill coming around the corner. Dwarf NZ will just stick one into his side. Now, the KV-2 is popped, and yeah, it's a formidable tank, but he's got an engine fire, and everybody's obviously targeting the KV-2, because if you can get rid of that tank and take the big derpy gun out of the game, everybody can breathe a big sigh of relief. And it's gone. Dwarf NZ gets rid of the KV-2 in short order with, as the Beatles would say, a little help from his friends. Churchill won. Not long for this game. Goodbye. Go back to the garage and reconsider what you need to do, because yollowing away in a Churchill 1 is really not the best idea. Here comes the AV for Sentinel, giving that poor old Jag for a bit of a rough time. But not to worry. I mean, Dwarf NZ's not going to get there in time to save him, but he can certainly take his revenge, and he does in short order. That's 3 tanks all scratching their heads back in the garage, thinking, where did they all go wrong? But it's okay. The AMX-12T, which is over there, is going to join them shortly, because he hasn't seen the KV-2, who's going to put a massive heat roll into him. So, only 3 tanks left. Now, the thing about the Churchill Mark 6, okay, it's a premium tank. And if you like Churchill-type tanks, it's a fantastic tank. But you've got to like Churchill tanks because they're slow. They've got a great reload, but they don't do massive damage. But because of their fast reload, it's they do massive damage. The problem that a lot of people have with them, however, is that they really are quite cumbersome and slow. And as you can see there, the Hellcat can pull away quite easily. The poor T25, however, is completely oblivious to the world around him, and he's going to be going back to the garage to join the 6 others. Just the VK30 left, and bless him, he's on his own, and he's got 4 tanks against him. He is not long for this game, and what a massive roll there by Dwarf NZ's Churchill. 4 kills, just shy of 2,000 damage, 480 bounces. That is a fantastic rollout in this premium tank. And I really do like this tank.
and in the right hands, I mean, again, it's only a second class, but it deserved better. But in the right hands, this tank is fantastic. So I'd like to thank Dwarf NZ of TOXIN for sending that replay for us, because a lot of people need to know how to play the Churchills properly, and there's no better way to learn than watching others. Anyway, next up we've got my very good friend Harrier77 of NX6. Well, he's no longer NX6, he's actually 49 diff, rolling out in the derpy Russian KV2, the Tier 6 Heavy, that everybody loves and everybody hates. If you're in it, you love it. If you're against it, you hate it. And he's got the menacing camo on it, which makes it look even more menacing and funky, in my opinion. Now, I know Harrier77 does like the KV2, and there's another KV2 there, pretty oblivious to Harrier in his KV2, but there's a Tiger B, they're all rolling that way. Oh, Harrier's now been seen. That's an optimistic shot, to be fair. I don't think he was ever going to get it there, not with the Russian gunners that they have in the KV2, but it was worth a good try. Let's have another go, Harrier. Maybe you can see something else. There's a KV13. Okay, he's only on 46 hit points, but the IS is struggling, so it's just easier to get rid of him. It doesn't bother Harrier because, okay, he's on a long reload, but there's nothing really around him at this moment in time, and the IS is bugging out in any event, feeling that he's had a bit of a bloodied nose. As you can see, the Reds are trying to flank left and right. They're trying to do a pincer movement, and Harrier is stuck firmly in the middle, which isn't a big problem. Here's a Strav. What can we do here? Oh, he gets a 927 roll, pretty high, leaves the Strav on 22 hit points. Strav's doing his best to hurt the KV2. KV2 is just going to ram him into oblivion. Wow, poor Strav. I mean, they're great tanks, but their armor is absolutely paper thin. Now, there's the VK30-01P. He's getting surrounded. Harrier can put one into his rear, but he doesn't get the kill. Somebody else gets it, which is a damn shame. So he's done 995 so far, and he's killed 2 tanks. Now he's down in the dip. He's thinking about, do I go this way? And then he decides, no, I can't be bothered. I'm going to turn around and go reversing up the hill. Interesting move, never seen that done before. As you can see, KV2's slow anyway, reversing slowly doesn't make an ounce of difference to this big beast of a tank. He's got 441 hit points left. There's a KV2, why don't we just wipe him out in one shot? That is why I love the KV2. The ability to wipe out another KV2 with one shot just creases me up every time, because the guy in the KV2 that's just been wiped out was like, yeah, I'm in a KV2, I've got a derpy gun. And then he comes across another KV2 and he's thinking, what happened next? So M6A2 is over there. He's looking nice and he's gone. 4 kills to the Harrier. 1 tank left, which is a Tiger P. We've now done 2,177 damage. Harrier, quite rightly, is chuffed with himself there, and who wouldn't be? Tiger P is presenting his rear end to Harrier, 450 hit points. Oh, he gets a low roll, it hits the tracks, doesn't get the 5th kill, does 2,500 damage. What a grand rollout. I mean, that's a fantastic game. Well deserved first class, and, you know, I've just got to thank Harrier77, formerly of NX6 Clan, for yet again providing a brilliant replay. Last, but by no means least, is my other friend, Peter Musi of EMRS Clan, rolling out in the little French Tier 7 light tank, the AMX 1375, again on the EU server, and this time in Mirage, which, to be honest with you, I haven't played in a Tier 7 for a long time. Now, I do like this little French light. To be perfectly honest with you, because it is unbelievably nippy. Okay, it's got 0 armor to think of, but it's got a fantastic gun, and it's got a fantastic engine, and it's got a really low profile. And if you like playing lights, and you're used to playing lights and know how to play lights, and that's a big crux here. The way Peter Musi is playing this light is how you should be playing lights, guys. You should not be upfront and personal with the big boys, because you will not be long for this world. Pete Moosey is doing exactly what you should do. They're all spotted up and he can get great shots in from afar with cover quite near to where he is. And as you can see, they're all oblivious to him. The VK28 is like, what, eh? Someone's putting raining fire into the backside of me and I don't know where it's coming from. Same with the T20. He's going to probably stick his nose out a bit too much. No, Pete Moosey is trying to get... Yeah, what a fantastic shot. That's why I like the gun on the little AMX. So they're one tank down, however. But Pete's done, what, 1,138 damage so far. He's got his full hit points. And they're just all presenting for him. What about the T20? Yeah, get rid of him. He's gone back to the garage. So Peter has evened the score. They're both one tank down, but by looks on it, the Reds have got a lot less hit points out on the field. Although I say that, and then Pete's team just loses 2 in quick succession. Yeah, what do I know? That's brilliant. What about the Cromwell, Peter? Come on, you've got to get rid of the Cromwell. Oh no, he disappears behind the rock. So let's have a look at the KV2 instead. Yep, let's whack a load of rolls into the KV2. 1,901 damage. Oh, that shot from the KV2 whistles past by a gnat's knacker of Peter's head, but the Cromwell is dispatched back to the garage. 2 against 4. And the 4 on the other team are pretty formidable for Peter's poor old AMX. So you've got 2 KV2s, the VK28, and an RL44. By no means are these easy oppositions, but we know... Oh, look at the RL presenting himself. What a fantastic shot with a great engine fire. Oh, the poor RL is sat there going, how on earth did all that happen? 2,645 damage. The SU-100, I don't know if he's AFK or not, so it may be actually 4 against 1 in real terms. We know that the 2 KV2s are down to low hit points because courtesy of Peter. There's the 1 KV2, he's a 1 shot out of this clip of 3 for Peter. We know the RL is down to next to nothing. And the VK, well, I haven't seen the VK28 for a fair long time, so I don't know what his hit point pool is like. We do know that Peter, however, was raining some shots into him. Hopefully they are going to focus on that AFK. Oh no, he's not AFK. My mistake. I thought he was, but he's not. He is actually awake. He's just not participating in the game as much as he should by looks on it. Although we'll see at the end. Maybe I'm being overly mean and unjustified. So poor old Peter here is on his full hit points, but every single one of those tanks, well, 2 of those tanks can wipe him out. There's the R, 1 clip from the 3 clip, dispatches him very quickly. 3 against 2. 2 KV2s and a VK. The SU-100 is still struggling over there. Okay, it's a big lumpy tank with a big box, so you don't expect him to be tearing up the battlefield. Peter knows where those KV2s are. He knows that they're over there on or around the hill. So he's going to do the right thing, and he's going to stay around here and try and see if anything will pop up. The VK28 I would have expected to run around like a demented fool looking for these tanks, but the VK28 seems to be very quiet in this game. Certainly not being used as a light. Maybe he's just hanging around trying to protect the KV2s. We do not know. Peter is wondering, come on guys, something's got to pop. And he's obviously being overly cautious because, as I said, there are 2 KV2s out there. And on the grounds that nobody's shot anything for a while, they are both fully loaded. And they only have to blink in Peter's general direction and he's probably gone. It's as simple as that, because he's a light tank, they will have HE loaded if they know what they're doing, and he'll go. Simple. And the game will end shorter than we expected. However, there's only a minute left to go, realistically. What's Peter going to do? He's still wondering where on earth these KVs are. They haven't really moved. The SU-100Y has moved the entire... And there's the VK. Has moved the entire map and is dispatched quickly by the SU. There's 1 KV2. They haven't actually moved since Peter engaged them earlier, which is interesting, to be fair. I would have thought they would have moved a little bit. Now Peter knows where the one of the KV2s is. He can roll up here, get behind him, and get rid of him, which he does really easily. One KV2 left. He's over there. This looks like it's in the bag for Peter. He's going to be getting, let's hope he gets this kill, gives him 5 kills, just shy of 3,000 damage, 2,979. He hasn't had a single scratch. And somebody calls him a hacker. Don't know why they think he's a hacker. What a fantastic game. Brilliant game. Well deserved first class. It deserved more, in my opinion. Shed load of medals and shed load of ribbons. So I'd like to thank Peter Musi of the EMRS clan for providing that replay for us. It was fantastic to watch how you should play lights. Guys, I'm going to leave you with Dwarf NZ dispatching a KB2 because it's always good to watch a KB2 go back to the garage. I, for one, have thoroughly enjoyed the replays for this week. If you want to send your replays in, guys, do so at fujitsblitz@gmail.com. Comment, like, subscribe. And with that, I will say, have a good Christmas. Be safe out there. Have fun on the battlefield and happy tanking. Because it's all about fun and happiness. Hey, I've been Fujit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.